Hi, this is my next book review of the day, and it's On Glass Houses by Rachel Caine. It's the first of the Morganville Vampire series. It was published in 2008, so now there's a full series of books. There are 10, and she's commissioned for 14, so there's 4 more. Hopefully she'll write more than that. If you've read any of the books, then you know how good they are, and if you haven't, then I seriously think you should go out and buy yourself a copy. Originally I bought it because I liked the cover. Well, my auntie bought it for me. She bought me the first 2 books, and then I kind of scouted for the rest. And I got really into them. I was actually really addicted to the series. I still kind of am. I'm waiting for the next one. For people that haven't read this, I'll read to the back. It says, "For Claire Danvers, high school was hell, but college may be murder. It was bad enough that she got on the wrong side of the moniker. The meanest of the school's mean girls, but now she's got 3 new roommates who all have secrets of their own. And the biggest secret of all isn't really a secret, except from Claire. Morganville is run by vampires, and they are hungry for fresh blood." Now, if you have not read this book, I just want to say spoiler alert, there probably will be a lot of spoilers. First of all, Claire Danvers is really smart. She really likes science. She got into college on an early admission, and her parents wanted her to stay close to home, so they sent her to this college. Originally she wants to go to Caltech, and she got on the wrong side of Monica by Monica was talking about World War II, and she had some of the details wrong, and Claire kind of corrected her, and Monica has been after her ever since. She doesn't like being humiliated. Monica has 2 lackeys, Jennifer and Gina, and on this certain day, Claire's in the laundry room, and all the clothes have been chucked down the trash. So she's about to go out, and them 3 appear, and they kind of bully her, and then she slaps Jennifer. So they push her down the stairs. Claire ends up with a cut lip, a sore ankle, and a lot of bruises. And she goes to the doctor, who signs her off for a couple of days, so she has no lessons to go to. She looks for somewhere to stay outside of the college rooms and finds the glass house. So she calls up, and they say just go down because no one answered the phone. In the glass house there are 3 roommates Claire gets, Michael Glass, Eve Rosser, and Shane Collins. Michael is kind of the owner of the house, and there's a lot going on with him. Throughout the book we find that Shane kind of thinks he's a vampire, but Shane won't say that to Michael. And there's a lot going on with Michael. He sleeps days and gets up at night, but as Claire figures out, he is a ghost. And he's very protective of his friends, and it really annoys him that he has to stay in the house, because when there's vampires chasing like Eve and Claire and Shane and all this sort of stuff happening, he can't leave. He's invisible during the day, and he kind of comes back to life at night, and the sun rises, and when he dies, he dies every night. It's really painful for him. And the rest figure, Shane and Eve kind of figure this out later in the book. Eve is kind of the rebellious, funny, quirky character. She really stands up for what she believes in. She doesn't care what people think of her. She dresses as a goth in a vampire town, and she carries stakes around with her, and she's made her own cross, which they're not supposed to have. They're not allowed stakes or anything like that. She works in a cafe. Her boss is called Oliver, and there's something about his character later in the book. Then there's Shane, who at first seems kind of like your average guy that just goes around dating and sleeping with random girls. Then later in the book we find out there's a lot to him. When he lived in Morganville before, his sister died in a fire, and he believes that Monica set it. So Shane and his parents left, and in Morganville, when you actually leave, you forget about the vampires, you forget all that sort of stuff. It's all fabricated, and they kind of forget. They know that Liz is dead. They know that she existed. They just don't know what happened. And one day Shane starts figuring it out, and he tells his mum, and his mum starts remembering everything. She kind of goes into herself. She's really depressed. And his dad starts drinking again. So then one day Shane comes back, and his mother's wrists have been sliced. Now if you read the full series you know what's happened, but obviously he thinks that the vampires did it, but he doesn't have proof at this stage. So he's kind of tore up about that. Amelie is the founder of Morganville. Claire thinks of her as the Ice Queen because she's always kind of formally dressed in cream and blue and kind of icy colours. She can seem really nice and she can seem really mean. Her character's interesting. One of my favourite characters is Sam Glass. He is Michael's grandfather. He is a vampire. He is very remorseful. He loves Amelie. There's not really more that can be said. Amelie's kind of left him out for whatever reason. We do not know. We don't get to find that out. But that's what she's done, and he doesn't understand. He keeps trying to talk to her, but it's not working. Claire meets Amelie when she is running from Monica, Jennifer and Gina because they kidnapped her. She runs into a church. I definitely think you should invest in this. If you like vampires, then definitely, it's a definite. If you've actually read this, please comment below and tell me your thoughts. And who is your favourite character in Glass Houses? Not in the series, in Glass Houses.